Welcome to Road to Paradise, powered by Knack, presented by Group 6. I am Mariana Vrutin, and this project will cover the following topics: the project overview and objectives, tools and technology, key diagrams, and data dictionary, and live application demo. Let me pass the next few slides to my team member, Bina.
Thank you, Marianne. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Beena Datta and Road to Paradise. Oh, sorry. Okay. So Road to Paradise or R2P Logistic is a cloud-based web application that provides reliable solution for a business in transportation industry. R2 uses a low-code, no-code approach to bring together data and end users in seamless integration using Knack. Sustainability, transparency, and efficiency and customer-centric focus are the key project objectives, with added security and report capability. Back to Marianne.
Thank you, Bina. As Bina mentioned before, the project objectives draw the necessity for a logical diagram to outline the key players in this project, which is customer, truck, parks, and receivers. From logical diagram, the entity relationship diagram emerged with 8 entities in respective relationships. This diagram was built using SQLDB, and this ARD prompted to create a physical diagram. We used DB Diagram Builder to build robust, fully realized tables with all the attributes, constraints, and referential integrity. Here we can present to you data dictionary for one of our tables. It's a customer table. This data dictionary contains metadata about every single element of the entity, including the field name, the data type, the data format, field size, description, an example of the value that will be stored in each attribute. We also included lots of business constraints to make sure that applications secured, robust, and foolproof. We use data type constraints, for example, text versus numbers, data format constraints, email format versus phone number format. We use referential integrity constraints, primary keys and foreign keys, and other SQL constraints, including not null, unique, default, null, and so on and so forth. So now it's time to present to you a live demo. Please bear with me while I'm switching from my PowerPoint to my project. Please let me know if you see the project. So you see the Road to Paradise, our customer-centric project, where we have key players, customers, brokers, dispatchers, drivers, and receivers. So our goal is to make sure that every step of the way, that delivery is made the most fast route, secure, and on time. For the customers, as you see, we can add a customer, and we also can edit a customer on the fly. For example, I want to add his middle name. We also can view a customer one by one if we need to have more detailed information. Moving on to brokers. And brokers, right now, we have a list of them. They are spread out all over the nation. For example, if I live in New York and I want to search only brokers in New York, that I will use the search button, and I will get my 3 brokers in New York that I would like to work with. If we combine customers and brokers, that's how the order is made. Even before the order is dispatched anywhere, our order is broken down in calendar view, and it's color-coded by the customer. So from the get-go, we can see which customer uses this application and these services more or less. And that will be driving the application interest in the future, and it can be applied to different businesses to see how they can amplify customers' experience in order to bring more to the table. The next one, I'm going to go to the shipping, and again, there's a search with different conditions. For example, I want to know if we are ever delivered to Miami, and it gives me a opportunity to see when there was shipping date, when there was delivery, and when the order was created. And again, I can see order itself, and I can go and verify the order, or I can actually edit the order on the fly if it's not been delivered. Last but not least, let's go to the receiving. Receiving is built on a map. Right now, we're using default as a business constraint is our Schaumburg zip code, but in an area of 100 miles around it. But I can actually look for a nationwide and see where we already delivered. If I click on the flag, my package delivery address comes up. If I am a driver, that would be very useful, because if I go to the direction, I can see where I'm going. And it, again, speeds up the time and verifies the capability to enhance customer experience. Also, right here, we can edit or look at the particular details for the receivers. For example, some of them have a particular description. This is also to elevate customer experience and to ease off the driver experience. Lastly, let's look at the reports. This is probably the meat of any online or offline application with the KPI. For example, if I am in as a dispatcher, I want to know who are the most successful drivers, who are the best one of the best, and there's the two emerge, 11 and 4. If I'm in a brokerage, or even if I'm a customer and I know which days are the busiest, this is what delivery by date. For example, yesterday, the delivery was made 3 times, where back in September, just once. And lastly, the brokerage average. Again, this is a really cool key feature for the customer. If I want to work with the best, the most reliable, I would be looking at this broker average. And I can filter it if I like. I would see which broker I could find. This broker has 2 accounts. Maybe I should go and find somebody else with more accounts. But again, there's going to be cost versus convenience versus execution and reliability. So this is in a shell what this Power application can do. Let me go back to Bina and continue with our PowerPoint presentation. Bina, back to you.
Thank you, Marianne. You also what P2R logistic can do, and the reason this web application is so powerful because it provides cost saving and efficiency, increases user satisfaction, since it is cloud-based and available anywhere 24/7. And it is aligned with modern value like sustainability and sharing economy. Now we have some time left for the question and answer.
Yeah, first of all, good job. Really good job. Your big round. Especially it requires huge courage, right? Yes, right. So first, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. It took 12 minutes. You were wonderful for time management. One question, if I ask you in 2 lines, what specific problem your product is solving?
Yes, customer service. Yes, customer service.
Customer service is very broad, right?
Yeah.
Specific, more specific.
I think delivering on time. Delivering on time. That's the main. I would say.
I'm a potential customer.
Yeah.
So potential client mistake. And I want to buy your product. How would you sell your product?
Can I take the
Yes.
over? First of all, I would say this is a cloud-based web application. It's available everywhere, whether you're in States or you're in Europe or you're in Asia. You would not have any problems. As long as you can have a web browser, you can access this. If you need to deliver all over the globe, because it's a web-based, it's a cloud-based, you will be, accessible by your driver, by your dispatchers, and most importantly, this is low code, no code.
Wonderful.
If you need to implement something customer specific, your business specific, it's very easy to do, very cost efficient, and very low maintenance.
Very good. Excellent answer. Now, a couple of questions. Could you go back to your, what do you call, Knack application? So here, do you have role-based permission? Like if I'm logging as you mentioned,
Yes.
a driver.
Yes, we have. For now, we just did the user and admin, because if we, we don't have enough probably data to go all, alone. But again, this is a customizable, and this is user-friendly and user-oriented application. So if you buy our product and you have specific groups, we can customize just for your group. So nobody else besides your business can be accessing it.
Yeah. Could you go back to your live applications where you had a map search?
Yes.
So could you tell me, like, how did you set up a map search? First of all, it is wonderful because based on your business, what you're saying, trucking business, right? It is always important, like destination zip code and origination zip code, where we are. How did you integrate a map into view?
So basically what we did, we have a wonderful group of developers. They did the research. They found that Knack as a no code, low code tool has a map built in, and including it in this application and tying up to the delivery will have this screen to come alive. Plus, it has a GPS map directory built in, so it provides for the driver the shortest or the safest routes from where they pick it up the product to the delivery address.
Very good. Now let's say if I give you one more month extra, what would you add here?
Well, it would probably fly into the sky. It's like, like Tesla. Well, if you are my client, I will interview you first, because you see the bare bones of application. You probably would like to modify it to your specific business needs. If you are owner of a truck company, if you're a broker, if you are a dispatcher, it will be some variation. So based on interview with you and your project managers, we will include the features you would like.
Very good. Do a big round again. Good job.
My screen now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So our project is a review site called Honest Reviews, and it was created by Koi, myself, and Ruchi.
Thank you, Vikram. Thank you. So it's all about like our project is based on reviews. Like, see, the pain is like, first I would like to ask the question, how many people search for the review before buying the product? So because there are tons of, or maybe you can say billions of the product, and you want to go for a one product, then you need to search for, so there's the pain, like, so you need to go to reviews, you need to go to the everything. So sometimes there's the pain. So that's for this solution, for this pain, we come up with the idea to make a project or make a site where you can go and have the review, so that you can see the reviews, what the people are saying, what is it worth of buying or not. So in that we made our slides or made our project, and the action plan we took, like we brainstormed, we thought about what should we do, how we could do, and the outcome you will see in couple of minutes. Next slides, please. Okay, so what you will benefit with this. So with the help with this kind of sorry. Okay, so you will get benefit from the our project is like the first is like product review. So in that product review, you will get the reviews, like and with that help of reviews, you will come to know so what is the pros and what is the cons. So based on that, you can decide that product is value for your price or not. So based on all those things, you can decide. So now I'm gonna hand over to my colleague, Koi. She can walk you through with all the other things. Here you go, Koi.
Thank you. So first, before we get to other stuff, let's talk about the entity relationship. I've kind of created or used this entity relationship diagram as kind of like a mind map of what our Knack website would look like. It's like how connection could possibly form, on Knack. What kind of data should we add? And as you can see here, there are some primary keys for this entity tables, such as product ID, user ID, review ID, ingredient ID. Again, it's on the side because it's something we didn't go with, since it's not just beauty products that people are reviewing on this website. There's brand ID, category ID, comment ID. Again, it's something we didn't go with, since it's not very common for another user to leave comments on other people's review. And there's also image ID. And then as for our data dictionary, you can see the scope of it. I'm just going to focus on product. And here we have product ID, product name, category, description / reviews, price, and rating. And as you can see here, for the price, we also didn't really go with that on our website either, because prices fluctuate and it also depends on where you're buying it from. And sometimes viewers actually do leave the price in the review. So it's just kind of like, meh, it's not really that important as part of our reviews website. As for the ratings, that was kind of tricky because you can see here under the product table, I have ratings as decimal in 1,0. But then here under reviews, where I actually need to be able to rate the product on a sliding scale from 1 to 5. So I had to do some researching, and I went with the tiny integer. And basically with that, I had to, if you look on the left over here, where I have it boxed in red, I have a check constraints. There's a check rating constraint where it's basically check constraint 1 is less than or equal to rating, which is less than or equal to 5, just so that we can have that rating scales. Okay, and I'm gonna hand it over to Vikram now.
Not able to hear.
On mute.
So first, I'm going to start off with the tables. So we basically had 6 tables: users, category, subcategory, products, brands, and reviews. First, I'm going to talk about the users table. Basically, the users table just shows like the person's name, their, the username, and then whether they're an admin or not. We actually didn't use this table that much because most of our information was used in other tables. So moving on to our next table, the category table. I'll just show the records. We only had 3 columns. One was an image column, which will be shown in the live app later on. Then are the 3 categories that each of us took on, and then the subcategories that we also took on too. So For example, electronics is broken down to computers, consoles, phones, tablets, and TVs. Then we're moving on to subcategories, and here we basically show what are the brands inside the subcategory, and within that, what are the products that the brands are basically selling on our review site, or that we're doing a review for. Next is the actual products table, and this is basically each individual product, who made it, what subcategory it's in, and what's the main category. Then we have a fifth table, the brands table, which essentially just shows these are all the brands we have, and these are how many products that this brand has on our review website. And our final table is the reviews table, which is basically each review. It provides the username of the person, first and last name, when did they post that review, the star rating out of 5, what product did they review, the actual, review, the image of the product, and of course, like what category, subcategory, and the brand of the product. Then we have the user roles, basically almost all of the reviewers that we have in the actual reviews, just the usernames, name, email, password, just the usual things that you need for reviews. And then we have admins. It was just Koi, Lucci, and myself, of course. And I'll pass it on to Koi for the settings.
Great, thank you. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start. Okay, so since we are mainly a product review page, I try to make it look as nice as possible. As you can see here, I even have the logo going on. We have a color palette. Made sure a lot of our buttons and drop-down menus looks nice and appealing. There's, a lot of little thoughts and details that went into this website looking, because our website, the idea of doing products review website is from the website called Influencer. And it's basically a platform where people leave honest products review, and we kind of just pick little elements that they have here and there and went ahead with that. And so as you can see, let me just hop on over here. So our page, we have, a lot of drop-down menus, a lot of click-through buttons. We try to make this a very immersive experience, like almost like a real website, where you click things and it actually works. It has menu display, pictures, and whatnot. So as you can see, this is like the back end of things. It doesn't look very nice, but when you look at here, this is our landing page. Like when you get in here, this is what you see. I put images in here that are associated with each category, as well as the subcategory, for that area. And then here, when you click on view, it actually takes you to a list of page products of what we have here. We even have the back to home page, our drop down menu. You click on it, it'll take you here, obviously, to beauty, electronics, beverages. And if you click on any of these, it actually takes you to another page. So I click on face, and here we have 2 products. Here is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Foundation and the Smashbox Primer. If you click on this button right here, obviously it will lead you straight into the reviews pages, and I try to add as many images as possible, like an actual review website. And for products that are lower on the review ends, I tend to not leave any images, because people who don't like their products, they're not going to put the effort into, uploading photos unless, the product broke, bust open or something, As you can see here, we have username, we have the posted dates, we have the ratings, the stars right here, the product name, the reviews, and an image is obviously on the side here. And there are other components of the website that look similar to it, like electronics, computers, and the keyword search works as well. You can see here, this is Vikram's portion. So I did beauty, Vikram did electronics, and Ruchi did beverages. So this is what it looks like. Also did the search. So our search at the beginning, it didn't really work. So let me just jump on here real quick. The search engine, like at the beginning, it didn't really work. No results were showing. And on the back end, even though it looks like this, it like in the front end, it actually looks like this. There's actually no results showing. So we're like, okay, so what's going on? Like I try to figure that out. And but now if you actually type in something, it will actually give you a search result and it'll tell you categories, subcategory, brands and whatnot. And we have a back search button as well. And then since our website is about products review, I was trying to like rack my brain, like what we could possibly do reports on regarding reports, reviews on reports. So one of them was overall ratings for all the products that we have on our website. And as you can tell, like majority of products that are on the market are pretty positively reviewed. As you can see here, it's like almost 50%. And you can see here other percentages. The 4-star ones and 3 stars are like pretty much like neck to neck for that one. The amount of reviews by category, so we can see how often people leave, or how often people write reviews for each different category. Like beauty is 54, beverages is 11, and electronics is 30. Here is another one. We can see this. I created this in like thought process, like, okay, so what about when do users frequently leave reviews? And as we can see here, like it's around like September time, October time, when a lot of like beauty product sales are happening. So that's when people make a lot of their purchases, and that's when they also are making their reviews. Okay, and I'll now pass it on back to Vikram.
Okay, so you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So the two things that I will be talking about are the brands tab and the login tab. So first off, the brands tab is essentially just a whole list of every single brand that is on our reviews page. And depending on like which one you choose, let's say like Amazon or whatever, click on Amazon and it will show you the actual brand, the product, and then a little button right here so you could go to the actual like reviews, so you could see like, hey, this is what this guy said about the product. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the login. We made like obviously the built-in function. We used a little login screen, username or email, password, and then enter. And obviously we could do that as any reviewer because they were able to post it. And now I will move on to the challenges of our project. And obviously in any project, there will always be challenges. In ours, there was one or two significant ones. The first one was a pretty big one. It was while going through all the records, there was an accidental deletion of the images field in our reviews table, which was a real problem because, of course, with any review, usually you're expected to leave a picture just in case, you want to talk about the build quality or something. So that was a huge issue, and luckily we were able to fix it. We were able to recreate the field tab, but we had to manually enter in every picture for 92 products. So that was an issue, but thankfully we had a backup of our data in a CSV format for most of our products. So we were able to basically input all of that CSV information, put it into Knack, and update each field instead of like inserting it as a new row. And that partially worked. We got most of our photos back, but for some products we had to actually manually put it back in. But luckily we were able to fix that. Our next issue was pretty minor, and it dealt with the actual like menu bar. For example, if I went to like computers and to the Mac, right? Once we're at this page, the whole menu bar actually disappeared, wasn't working for some reason. And, you know, after thinking about it, coming together as a group, we realized it was obviously super easy fix just by going into the settings on a page and turning on display the page menu. So that was one issue that was fairly quickly that we could resolve. The second one was also the exact same thing with the login page. We missed the login page and we were trying to figure out how to get it. Of course, that was another built-in feature, so easy fix. Another one was the search bar that Koi actually explained, so we already know about that. And our last challenge was actually a pretty big one and super important for a whole reviews website. So our issue dealt with each action link on every single product. For some reason, our action links weren't working earlier today, even though they were working yesterday. And after like coming together as a group thinking about it, we were able to alter the filter tab that's in the action link and separate it by like product name. And for some of them, it was brand because we only had 2 separate brands in a subcategory. So it was a bit of a hard fix and a bit tedious. But once we were able to complete one, for example, on the brands page, if we were able to complete Amazon, we were able to run it, see that, hey, it went to the right page. All we had to do was literally duplicate it 24 more times, switch the fields from Amazon to Apple, Chanel, everything like that. And that was our last major challenge. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
First of all, give a big round. Seems like you.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question one more time?
So I'm a customer or client. I want to review a product, let's say TV. How many times I can review for that specific product? One time or many times?
Many. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Like if you
because we made it so
Yeah.
that each reviews is unique. You can't repeat what you're saying. So you can't use like bot or just keep spamming the area, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, the reason I'm telling you, could you make this slide a little bit bigger? Hello, guys. Hello. Could you make this slide bigger? If you see the review table, it allows infinite review for same product. It means there is a flow in the design. Ideally, we should not allow, otherwise one person can bombard with the review, right?
Right.
Just you have to think
Okay.
about, because here you are not constraining that review can be only one by one person for one product, right? You're allowing, see, review ID seems like unique, product ID and user ID allow. So technically three columns together as a primary key. So one person can have thousands of review for same product. So you may want to think about it. The reason I'm telling you, your super duper application, but your design has a flaw. If someone see that, all your credit will disappear. So just you and a group think about what is the business rule? One review for one product by one customer. If that's the case, then here review ID should be removed, because product ID and user ID should be combination as a primary key. Then you have one review by one customer. But here somehow you add a review ID. It means it's auto number, means no constraint. Just want to point out. Okay, it's a wonderful application, but if the database design has a constraint problem, you may have a problem later on.
Okay.
Give a big round. Big round.
Natalia, please welcome to our presentation. The presentation is CBS Management System. Do you guys know what CBS stands for? It stands for Consumer Value Source. That used to be the name, but then they changed it to CBS. So the agenda is, you see here, and the objective is to create CBS data management system using Knack in order so the CBS representatives can work in efficient, informative, and better way. And so the CBS customers can be happy. We also have some valid constraints in our project, and they are unique, primary key, required, and default. And you can see the examples below. These are from our app. And now, Fanny will take over, please.
Yeah, hi everyone, this is Fanny. So this is our context diagram. Here is the manager, pharmacist, and employee. They're going through Knack application and they're going to search for all the data that will be stored in database and also will be retrieved from the database. Next slide, please. Okay, we have entity for the data dictionary here. So for example, there is field name, there are data types, data format, data size, and also descriptions and examples. Next slide, please. So here we have logical model diagram that shows the relationships, entities, and attributes. So here from manager, there is customer, there is location, vaccine, appointment, viewers, vendors, vaccine product, purchases, and pharmacy. Next. And here our entity relationship diagram we created. This is how we show the connections. We have 10 entity tables that shows the relationship between them. So for here we have manager, customer, product, pharmacist, vaccines, health records, membership, travel health, and vendors. Ayushi will be taking over from the next slide. Thank you, everyone.
Hello everyone, this is Ayushi here. So for this application, we have used these tools and technology. The first one is the Knack, the other one is WhatsApp, Infotech Guide, WebEx, Visual Paradigm Online, SQL DPM. Can you move to the next slide? The another slide that we have created is the key performance indicators, and for that one, like the how to develop the KPIs. So the first one is the identify, then evaluate, then assign, and then the measure. So like the easy and effective data management, you can organize the appointments, track how the performance change, and organize the product and the automation process. Can you please move to the next slide? And here is the screenshots of coding. Is automation process would look like if we were to implement something. The concept is we have a script that we run every night to pull the purchases from a database and upload it to the Knack app. And the other slide is also talk about the same thing, like if we need to implement something from the database. Next. For the business improvement, the strategies will help the business increase its share in the market, come up with the new markets, and the develop a new service and the products. So for that, we need the operation efficiency. So we need like the live reporting, pattern management, updating the navigation forms, accessibility analysis, and the capabilities. And also like we need to generate the more profit. So business generates more revenue for over a specific time. And also like the better customer relationship. You need to have a better customer relationship with the customer. So you get the return customers back. Next. Now I'm going to hand it over to the Christian and he will explain the application that we have made for our project. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to show here the manager dashboard, which will bring in the integration we have for the automation. So nightly, you bring in all the purchases that you have, because CBS would have point of sales equipment that would put all their purchases and things like that, sales, into a separate database. So we would add it here so that managers the next morning or whenever they log on would have up-to-date information for their store. And some of these graphs here show the sales for different locations and things like that. We also have a pharmacist dashboard, which is separate for the login criteria for our I get 3 times, right? In here, the pharmacist can enter a vaccination appointment, things like that, and they can see their schedule. And you can also do some analysis on the different vaccinations that they carry, and then how many by store is getting vaccination. That's all. If there's any questions?
First of all, do a big round. So I like, first of all, the slides, the way the contents and design overall. So the question again, how did you derive that we should work as a CBS application?
Choose the topic.
Mhm.
This is something we all have a little bit of understand.
Mhm.
Well, shop at CBS. So it was something we decided we could do together.
Good. So while you were working with this group, like seems like you're some team member online, some team members in person, did you find any challenge?
Oh, it was such a challenge. It was so difficult because we have some people that are from Denmark, they live in Denmark, and then it's different time zone. So it was difficult because we also have different schedules. Yeah. But we managed. We used WhatsApp, we used WebEx.
Good. So first of all, IUC, this is the first project I believe you are doing. Did you enjoy working with this group?
Yes, I really enjoy working with this group, and Natila and Kristen, both of them are so helpful. They help us a lot in this project.
Wonderful. And finally, this seems like this is your first project also. Did you learn any specific thing here in the part of the project?
Yeah, I learned like more in like in Knack application, like how to implement and things like that. Like I didn't know, like I was not familiar with some of the context with the Knack application and like these diagrams. So it helped me.
Yeah. So Natalia, could you go back to the slide where you have shown Python code? Mhm. So who came up with this brilliant idea that we should do integration? Yes. So question like what motivated you to work as a Python programmer and integrate with the Knack API?
One of the requirements or one of the suggestions in the assignment was automation, right? And so I wanted to do that somehow. So I looked up and saw the docs for Knack have an API, right? And I knew what an API was. So they have integration with other systems, which I didn't know anything about. I did know that you can make a bash script like a cron job, and so this makes a lot of presumptions, right? It's an SQLite database, but the concept of the script was really quite simple. You query the database, right, which is what we learned here, and you get all. Now I didn't put any parameters on there, so it's getting all of the purchases, but it would be after a certain time, and to just sort of loop over it and then use the API to update the database in Knack, because no manager is going to be able to put them in individually. It just be impossible. So we thought automation would set us apart in our presentation.
This is wonderful. This is just wonderful. because we also had the similar challenge when we started doing this. Like example, your certificate. How many students we have in this class? Almost 50. So creating certificate takes per person take 15 minutes. I can run my Python program, everything I can complete in 5 minutes. And with precise, with accuracy, it also sends email also. It also update my database. It also put data into AWS Cloud, Dropbox, everything through Python program. So give a big round to this group.